Hello everyone, Anther here of the Bloody Point. Been a while. Today I'm going to show you a strategy I use in Parallel, the trading card game, which is to take advantage of the armed aspect or attribute of cards. So I'm very new to the game. I'm playing with a premium account using the Battle Pass, but not with any NFT cards, not messing with the crypto or the prime yet. These cards are very easy to acquire. The deck is very basic. So there are no cards with the armed attribute themselves, no units that can be played that have it. You have to grant it to units or get units that have it through other means. So just scrolling through the deck to see what you've got. Of course, this isn't a perfect deck. It's just something I threw together. Still building my card base, but for the purposes of that specific mechanic, it works pretty well. So you'll see here, filtering through armed, no armed. It's important to keep that in mind. But you will see that some of the cards in their descriptions can be used to grant the armed attribute to other units. Some can be used to spawn cards with that attribute, or grant it to cards that are already on the field. And then the Paragon, every fourth turn will allow you to spawn a unit of your choice, and you can pick the one with the armed attribute. So that's the basic concept, and the idea is to avoid trades. So you're applying your damage. I should explain what the armed attribute does. On your turn when you're attacking, it will allow you to apply your damage without the enemy unit's damage being applied to you. So that means you don't have to trade, you're not losing HP. You can deal out damage without losing any HP on your cards, which helps you have a form of sustain. It does not work when defending, so if a unit attacks you, you will still do your damage, but you will take damage as well. And I like this against the Kathari because it allows you to maintain populated field against their generally, very populated field. The clone deck is, by definition, one that's going to be populous, and it will gain health as the turns progress. So you need to keep it down, otherwise it could become overwhelming. Now, two weaknesses to this deck. The first one being that you do not get a lot of cards. You don't have a lot of cards in your hand. There's an upgrade you can use to counter that. And the second being that it's very prone to bad performance if you get unlucky draws. So if your hand is poor and it's all upgrades and no units, and you get behind, it's a problem. You also have to be very careful with your plays, very smart. Make sure you defend, properly with the right cards and attack with the right cards, and also take advantage of any synergies that pop up during play. And one of the things that's really important to making this work, at least in my opinion, my new opinion, being as I'm a new player, is when you're spawning your Juggernaut,
into the hydrolium.
Be smart about whether you spawn one with armed or with defender. You can build up quite a bit of damage on your cards because they're surviving through the rounds. And the key to doing that is to defend with other cards and keep your arm cards available for avoiding trades. And you have to play smart in order to do that. So just a little context, I discovered the game a few weeks ago. I think it's probably my second week of play. I have two accounts that I've been testing with, a non-Battle Pass account and this one, just to get a comparison. So far, my results are pretty much the same for each. Haven't purchased any cards, just progressed through the Battle Pass and so on, and done all the various things you should do to get the most free packs. I'll have a video showing how to do that coming soon. Just play a few hours a day. I'm not particularly good, as you can see from my ranking. Haven't been playing very much, but I have put together some decent streaks. I had a 10-win streak just yesterday, and I tend to win more than I lose. Okay, so as you can see, we're dealing with a very typical field on the Kathari side, and I am just, planning so that I can upgrade to get the benefits and hopefully have those upgraded cards survive. Already you can see I'm at a significant disadvantage. So I have my first decision. Do I lose a card? Which one do I want to lose? It's really a question. I'm going to lose a card, obviously, so it's a question of how much damage do I want to do. Do I want to trade and lose the more upgraded card of mine? But I have salvage, so this allows me to transfer that upgrade over to the other unit and take that unit off the field. And now you can see I still have an armed unit, which will help me out. Or would have, rather, if it hadn't have died. But it did its damage, and we have a blank field on my side and just one on his. So this is basically how it goes. You're just kind of clearing the board and trying to stay as even as possible while you're, moving through your Paragon's counter progression to get that free unit on the board. So here you see, as I mentioned, I'm choosing the armed choice, and then I'm choosing defender. So the defender is to cover the new armed unit. This is a very key element of this strategy. So this guarantees, depending on, of course, how much damage output they have, that I will be able to use my armed unit on my subsequent turn. It's going to survive, and then I'll be able to, use it to take cards off their field without losing any of mine. And you do that enough, you're going to be burning through their deck. You're going to be progressing your deck, getting upgrades applied, increasing the outgoing damage you can do in your health pool, and then you can actually survive trades if you need to. And you do that long enough, and generally speaking, it's at least in my current experience, it's a good balance against this Kathari Clone problem. So again, I have armed I can apply. I have to choose which unit I want to put it on. Apart from applying the armed attribute, it also increases its attack by 1. And what I'm looking at here, of course, is because I'm using an armed attack, I don't have to worry so much about the hit points. It's a question of having matching attack values on my cards that have armed for their HP pools. And then, if I can't do 1-for-1 for all the cards, whatever I have left, I have to be able to swallow on their turn, which I have my 6 hit point defender for. So, you're always looking to take cards off the field that are going to be increasing or strengthening the other cards, or increasing their number by spawning cards, which I have done. I've left their, ability list card on the field, and I still have mine. So that's the general idea. Again, very inexperienced player. This isn't meant to say that it's going to work for everything. But earlier in Discord, I saw someone mention they have difficulty with Kathari and the clones, and this is something that I've been doing to approach that with a very basic deck. It's all about the timing and being careful with which cards you play and how you upgrade them. So we're back in a similar situation as the previous turn, but I have my cards. Some of them are already upgraded, and I have more choices. But again, you have to be careful, and that includes planning what you put in your bank, because of some of these cards allow you to pull an upgrade from it. I don't know that I have a favorite Paragon or faction or whatever you want to call it yet. I played a lot of Shroud in my first couple days, but lately I've been playing Augencore. I find it's a bit more versatile, since you don't know what you'll be facing. It's good against Kathari. It's good against Earthen. Shroud, of course, is rough just in general, but it gives you some, card removal ability through the arm mechanic that Shroud has with Banish, but and still allows you to do other things. So again, we have left one card on the field. I do have a defender that I can use. And this is a very slow paced strategy. You know, it's not going to blitz the guy's HP down anytime quickly, but it will erode them slowly, and often you can see the frustration in just seeing their cards constantly disappear off the field. So again, I have a choice here. Sometimes I'll even decline banking. One thing to keep in mind is if you have the card, there's an upgrade which will allow you to draw a card into your hand when you do damage. So you can use that to get new cards if you have energy that you can't spend because you lack cards in your hand, or if you need a card to bank. It's an attribute of this particular deck that you will, you know, be card poor, and you can manage that a little bit using that mechanic. And again, you want to be smart about where you apply your armed. In this particular case, I have 4 attacks. He has 3 cards. The 3 of them are defenders, so he's just going to eat all my attacks and leave his one on the field. But it's pretty clear to you know, an experienced player on the other side that this isn't sustainable for him, and eventually he's going to lose. Because my deck gets stronger, my field gets stronger, and his gets weaker.
Easy job.
See, so there's the card draw for the banking, and I'm gonna get my Paragon granted card, choosing defender to, you know, soak damage to defend my other cards, because the longer your arm cards survive, especially if you're upgrading them, the more damage you'll be doing, the more card removal you'll be able to do through trades with armed, and it really wears the other guy down. Like, he's got 1 card in his hand now, well, 2, and he knows that I'm just going to wipe these cards, and there's the concession,
from lessons learned,
as expected. So there you go. That's the armed deck that I've been playing with. Nothing fancy, but seems to work so far, at least for basic players.
Our machines march on.
More of this content coming soon. It's good to be back. Thank you guys for watching as always, and I will see you in more videos coming in the next couple days. Take it easy.